A couple of days ago I got to see Disney's Galaxy's Edge in Hollywood Studios, Orlando. I wanted to do a review of it of somebody who's not a fan. I've got to own up that I've not sat through a Star Wars movie. Oh, I was alive back when Star Wars was new and I never saw the movie. No, I've never sat through it. I've seen parts of it if it's been on the TV, but I've never seen a Star Wars movie. So I wanted to see the land with those eyes, the eyes of people who just seen it as another Disney area. And for the look of the land and how it's been done and the detail that's gone into it, I can't rate it higher. It's really well done. Lots of detail. I was really impressed with it. I liked the staff. I thought the staff were really nice. They were either very efficient at their job or they were having a great time. They were really enjoying what they were doing. The layout of the land I quite like. There's lots of space, lots of open space, so if they expect it to be busy, there's a lot of space, so you might not feel crowded. It's easy to actually get a little bit lost there. I couldn't get my bearings quite a few times, so I quite liked that idea, and it was very interesting to walk around. The small shopping area in the middle, which is like a bazaar, like the old bazaar in Cairo type thing, that was very well done, but it was very, very hot. A lot of people were complaining there is no AC in there, the shops are quite small and crowded, and a lot of people were saying that they just wanted a AC area. This is Florida, it's hot. And literally I can say they sold crap in there. Crummy made toys, really bad stuff. They could have done so much more with that area, sold so much different stuff to give it more of a bazaar area. When you go into Harry Potter, and I didn't really want to do a comparison, but when you go into Harry Potter and their shopping areas and the toys they sell, they're superb. Everything sold within Harry Potter is absolute top notch, and everything apart from I think the I would say the handles to the lightsabers that they sold in one shop seemed cheap and not a lot of thought put into them. It was pretty awful. I wouldn't spend any money in there really. I spent $3.99 on something for my cabinet of curiosities, a little stone with a saying on it, but that was about it. I don't think I'd buy anything there at all. The food and drinks seem really overpriced, and again, there's no shade to sit in. But they do have a couple of shops with AC, which is tons better than Toy Story, which has nowhere. Toy Story is awful. I did moan about the seating. Yes, lack of seating. That's a Disney problem. But overall, the layout, the attention to detail, all the things that can't be changed really don't need to be changed. What they sell really does need to be changed. Anybody spending money on that rubbish really has more money than sense. Now, they also have a ride open, and I forgot what it's called, Smugglers something. Anyway, the line for the ride's really interesting. It ran very smooth. The pre-show was short and sweet, which I really liked. And the ride was unusually good for families. Quite happily you could take mother, father, 2 children and grandparents in. It's a simulator, and as long as you've done turbulence on a plane, you can probably do this ride quite comfortably. And it was quite nice that you could get a whole family, and Gran and Grandad wouldn't have to be left outside, because it's quite an interesting little ride. I wouldn't do it too often while they kept the same thing up on the screen, because it would get a little bit boring. It's just pressing a few buttons. But for your general holiday maker, it's a very good ride. It's a ride that families can all go on, and I quite enjoyed it. We did it a few times. Now I get to my feel of it as a immersed land, and that didn't happen. When I go to Harry Potter again, I do feel that you are where you are. You're in the land of Harry Potter, and I'm very impressed with it. I felt with Galaxy's Edge that I was on a studio set. I was quite lucky when I was young to be able to go to a family visit to Pinewood Studios, and it felt like a set. It didn't feel like you were in some village somewhere on some far off planet. It felt like you were at a studio set. That was my opinion. I know that a lot of people who are diehard Star Wars fans really don't want to go, because these are the Disney Star Wars films and Disney Star Wars ideas, and they really don't want to go. But it is a nice little area in its own right. It would be sad not to go because you don't like the way Disney's taken the Star Wars films. I think it's worth going. I think it's worth keeping your money in your pocket once you get in there. If I was you, I'd go and eat in somewhere else in Hollywood Studios, not eat in there. I have heard that there is a drink in there, an alcoholic drink that's $47. I mean, really? And they have this milk there that's $7.99. I mean, it's only in a small glass. Really, I don't know. People will buy it. It's $200 to make a lightsaber, and $100 to make some little robot. The robot looks quite cute, and I do quite like that area. I went into that area, and it was quite good. If I was going to do anything in Star Wars, maybe making a robot. I certainly wouldn't do the lightsaber, not for $200. It's not worth it. You can get tons of other lightsabers online that are better, and other places that are better. I collect swords, so I kind of like things like that, but they didn't impress me much. What else? Really, again, lack of shade. There is places to get out of the rain, unlike Toy Story where there isn't. Toy Story, if you get caught in the storm there, you're in a lot of trouble. There's only the toilets that you can go into to get out of the rain. So this is a lot better that way. But as I say, I heard a lot of younger people complain about the heat in the bazaar. It was stuffy. They could have perhaps put a bit more covering, perhaps put AC. Perhaps they have AC and they just didn't put it on that day. I don't know. But the fans in there definitely weren't cooling the place. It was definitely not even a very hot day. It was only in the it was only in the early 90s, so the low 90s. So it definitely wasn't a hot Florida day. But they definitely just sell tack in there. There were so many things they could put in there. But, I wouldn't spend anything more unless they changed it in that whole area. There's just nothing. So really, I would say go. I mean, the detail, if you're into detailed things, the spaceships and all that are really well done. The robots are well done. The staff are very nice. The area is nice to walk around. I can't wait to walk around it at night. I think that's going to be really quite interesting. And yeah, I was overall impressed with it. Out of the 3 newer areas in the parks in Disney, I would say that my favourite is Pandora, and I only saw Avatar last year. My daughter made me watch it after I went to the land, but I don't think that you need to see the film of Avatar to really enjoy Pandora. It is a lovely part of the park to walk around, and there is seating, it is shady, and it's really well done, and usually plenty of places to sit if it's not lunchtime, you know, in the shade. There's places to get out of the rain. All the things that Disney usually falls flat on, they've kind of done quite well in Pandora. So that's my favourite. And I think the Galaxy's Edge will be my second favourite because it's a nice walk around. I wouldn't do it too often in high summer because, again, you're in the blazing sun. But it's still nice. I think every time I go, I'm going to see something new. And my third one would be Toy Story, which is horrendously hot and stuffy and small. No seating, no shade, no shelter. It does have 2 of my favourite rides in there, the whirling alien saucers and the Toy Story Mania. But we just go straight in, do those and walk straight out. I haven't really looked around Toy Story that much. Anyway, so I've been waffling on enough. I would say go and see it, but I wouldn't make a special trip. I think that there's another big ride coming, and I may change my view. It's supposed to be quite a spectacular ride, and that could make a complete difference to it. But if you're in Disney, now Universal has a really, it's not Universal, is it? Goodness me, I'm mixing up my parks. Now Hollywood Studios has more places to go. It's always been quite a small park that you could do in a day, and of course now you've got more to see. So there you go. As everybody can see now, Sapphire's doing really, really well. No marks on her at all. I took the great big plant out of here and put 2 more of Bob's little plants in here, and already they're growing. All the plants grow amazing in here. I have really a nice big shrimp down there, but you can see him. No, he's right in that corner. Yeah, so she's doing really well, so I'm not going to move her from here. This will be her home now. And I'm going to be able to grow my plants in here. They grow so fast. I probably do another video next week, and you'll probably be able to see how much those plants have grown since then. So anyway, this is my longest video, so I think I will go.